Movie trailers that falsely advertise a film's content? Tom Hanks is the good guy? Oh, you could have knocked me over with a feather. This is the 4th episode of Movie Night. Hello and welcome to Movie Night, the YouTube show that once again made it socially acceptable to talk to yourself in an empty movie theater. Hi, my name is Jonathan Paula. Our first film tonight is Funny People. Released on July 31st, 2009 from a budget of $75 million, this Judd Apatow dramedy starring Adam Sandler and Seth Rogen went on to gross just $61 million, making it one of the bigger flops in Sandler's and Apatow's otherwise very fruitful career. Funny People was created by these two, dare I say, comedy legends. So how come when Apatow and Sandler team up, the result is kinda subpar? The reason is simple, and it's also the main reason I was disappointed by this film. The trailers lied to us. Growing up watching films as a kid, I always used to joke with my friends like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if, you released a trailer for a movie that had nothing to do with the film? That's kind of what they did here with Funny People. I mean, you've got Adam Sandler, Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill, Leslie Mann. This movie should have been hilarious, and in certain scenes, notably those where you've already seen in the trailer, the movie actually is quite funny. Unfortunately, the laughs are few and far between in this film, which tells the story of an over-the-hill comedian, George Simmons, played by Adam Sandler. He's diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia and is given an 8% chance to live. Simmons befriends a local upstart comedian, Ira Wright, played by Rogen, to help him deal with his life now that he's slowly dying. Watching Simmons deal with the realization of his death and the character play between him and Wright is the real heart of this film. It's surprising and very emotional and enjoyable for the first half of the movie. That's right, the first half of the movie. This movie is a 2.5-hour long film, and spoiler alert, Simmons finds out he's not really going to die about 90 minutes in. The movie should have ended right there. The remaining hour of the movie is this ridiculous situational and confusing romance plot that rears its head awfully late in the runtime. What was once a celebrity struggle with a life-ending disease has now become a bad episode of Three's Company. The movie completely lost me here, with many of the characters' motivations coming seemingly out of nowhere. Funny People ended up becoming sad and unfunny people for me. But let's see what you thought. Dylan Durante wrote, Funny People was the perfect blend of drama and comedy. It was funny when it needed to be and serious in the serious acts. Sandler and Rogen made the perfect cast. Penn City Punk writes, Funny People was an alright movie, but I'm glad I rented it before I bought it. It had its ups and downs, but overall I think it's just a rental you can have a couple of laughs with. Lulu Stories wrote, The thing with Funny People is it's depressing and real. It's a drama and I was disappointed with it because I expected a comedy. Well, that's what you guys said, so now let's take a look at what I thought on the Rate-O-Matic. Now, I'm going to change up the rules a little bit. In the past, the Rate-O-Matic reflected what you and I all thought about a movie. On today's episode, and probably going forward, the Rate-O-Matic will now reflect only what I think of a film, and we'll get to what you guys thought in just a second. Yeah, a 3. I thought this was a bad film. Many parts of this movie worked individually, but as a whole, it really dropped the ball in my opinion. It didn't know what it wanted to be, a drama, a comedy, a romance plot, and at the end of the day, I didn't really care for it. As promised though, let's take a look at what you guys as a group collectively thought of Funny People. So as you can see, the ratings here are pretty much all over the place. Remember, if you'd like to rate next week's films, the links to do so are in the sidebar. Now for our next film tonight, we'll be taking a look at the film adaptation of Dan Brown's novel, Angels and Demons, starring Tom Hanks and Ian McGregor. Now, I'm not going to review this film. Sure, I could give it a 6 or a 7 easy. I enjoyed this one. No, we're going to let this one be handled by one of our movie night correspondents. He's standing by live from St. Peter's Basilica from the Vatican. Jory Karen, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, John. I'm live here from the pews of St. Peter's Basilica where I'm about to be ordained as one of the Pope's newest cardinals. No, I'm not. I thought that was kind of strange. I have sinned an awful lot in my life. Oh well, let's just get right down to it and review this 2009 box office hit. Angels and Demons is the much anticipated sequel to the hugely successful Da Vinci Code. Fun fact here, although Angels and Demons is a sequel to the Da Vinci Code in movie form, it is actually the prequel to it in book form. But I digress. Angels and Demons brings back Robert Langdon, a Harvard professor of symbology or symbolism, whichever studies symbols, to solve the case of the missing vial of stolen antimatter. Robert Langdon and friends have to follow a whole bunch of hidden clues to save the world. Now just when you think, I've heard that plot before, the movie introduces the Catholic Church versus Illuminati twist. Oh snap! Riding on the heels of the Pope's death and the uneasy times of the papal election, the Illuminati kidnaps the four preferiti. For those not familiar with the Catholic lingo, they're the four preferred contenders for the Pope's seat. On top of that preferiti ponage, the Illuminati decide to take their newly acquired speck of antimatter and consume Vatican City in light. In layman's terms, the Illuminati are going to use their weapon of mass destruction to blow up Vatican City. They don't just want to blow up Vatican City though. They want to create a series of solvable riddles to ultimately thwart the attempt of the church's destruction. Robert Langdon, who apparently knows everything about the Catholic Church, even more than the Catholic Church itself, discerns that the Illuminati are going to kill in the style of earth, wind, fire, and water. But I felt as though they lacked heart, and so the Captain Planet Star of Approval can't be awarded to this flick. This movie brought so much to the big screen. It had history, mystery, mutilation, a detonation, a car chase, and the beautiful face of Isla Zur. Wait a second, wasn't she in Munich, a movie directed by Steven Spielberg? Tom Hanks has been in a bunch of movies directed by Steven Spielberg. There must be a clue here. I'm in the 8th row of pews. H is the 8th letter of the alphabet. Tom Hanks' last name begins with an H. I'm so close. The clue must be right under my feet.
Jory, implausible deduction skills aside, I don't think that defacing Vatican property is such a good idea.
Listen, John, I need answers. And even though some of the acting was a little too revealing and obvious and some of the clever comedic one-liners a little out of place, it still held my undivided attention. That's what I thought about it though. Let's see what some of you guys had to say. Tubed Up 909 Part 3 said, Angels and Demons, a surprisingly very entertaining college lecture. Hank gives a great performance, no surprise, and it has a pretty good twist at the end. Blah 22-3-22. Angels and Demons was a good movie, but it can get very slow. Maybe if you read the book beforehand, the movie will seem better or worse. But as a person who has not read it, I thought it was just okay. Delt or Gal says, Angels and Demons was a well-made movie that I think many people who haven't read the book would enjoy, but as an avid Dan Brown reader, I was rather disappointed in the alterations the producer saw fit to make. That's what you thought, but did I enjoy it? Yeah, that's why I'm gonna have to give it a cool. But John, I have to know. What mysteries can I solve by digging up this 400-year-old floor? I mean, if there's even a remote chance that by doing this I can save Vatican City, then it's something I'm gonna have to do. Does anyone have a shovel? Back to you, John.
Thanks for that exciting movie review, Jory. Even more impressive that you were able to broadcast without any issues from inside St. Peter's Basilica. So good work.
Or a pickaxe!
Alright, now on to this week's tweet critique. Logan Cruz writes, New Moon was just 2.5 hours of talking pure crap and bad acting. The first one was only an hour and a half of talking pure crap and bad acting. Lesbot tweeted, 2012, it was a great movie. Action was intense and in some ways parts like when they were pulling the plane up just had to scream with them. Spencer Honda tweeted, Blindside, good, heartwarming story that had little to do with sports. Too bad the add-in, made-up parts had thin plot structures to it. If you have a tweet critique you'd like to see on an upcoming episode of Movie Night, all you have to do is review a recently released film and add the JPMN hashtag to your tweet. That's it for this week's episode. Now let's take a look at next week's movies. Battle for the Smithsonian is new on DVD this week, and Millennium is a 20-year-old sci-fi movie about time travel and airplanes. I hope you get a chance to check out both of them and let me know what you think for next week's episode. Thanks for watching Movie Night. Once again, my name is Jonathan Paula. Good night.